So I got started playing drums when I was about 2. My dad's a drummer. I've been surrounded by drums and music pretty much my entire life, so I've been really fortunate to have that around. So I got started taking lessons when I was about 4, I think, and I took lessons in Elk Grove from a guy, and after that I just have been playing ever since, and I got involved in school bands. So I played in elementary school, played in middle school, as well as in high school. I did the marching band and the concert band and the jazz band and all that sort of thing. And in high school I got really inspired with the marching percussion thing, and so I took that really seriously for a couple years. Eventually marched drum corps in 2009 with the Seattle Cascades. If I was going to be going to college, I could if I wanted to study music, I could study percussion, like hand percussion, or jazz, and play a drum set. And so I opted to do the jazz studies program at Sacramento State, and I studied with Rick Lauder, who's a fantastic drummer in Sacramento, and he's been a great mentor over the last 5 or 6 years now. So I did the jazz studies program and got my degree from Sac State, and I played in all the bands there. I played in the top big band for about 4 years and did recording sessions with them, and we traveled around a little bit, which was really fun. And now currently I'm teaching full-time. I graduated and I wanted to keep doing music. It's my passion, so I've been teaching full-time at the Drum Lab, and I'm also playing in several bands around town. I'm playing primarily with a band called Todd Morgan and the Emblems, and I play in a variety of jazz ensembles around town. I did some subbing with a band called Joy and Madness and with Mumbo Gumbo. Yeah, so that's kind of my playing story. In the jazz realm, I'm really heavily influenced by Tony Williams and Elvin Jones and Max Roach and Roy Haynes. I'm also a really big fan of Bill Stewart, Brian Blade, Mark Juliana, Ari Honig. They're more modern players, and I love them all dearly. I'm also a huge Steve Gadd fan, Vinnie Colaiuta fan, John Bonham fan, Stuart Copeland fan, Carter McLean, list goes on and on. So primarily, I play Gretsch drums. I love Gretsch for what I do. They work really, really well. I have a Brooklyn bebop kit as well as a Catalina Club bebop kit. I also have a USA Custom kit that I'm using primarily on all my pop and rock gigs. I'm primarily playing Istanbul AGOP cymbals, Vader drumsticks, and brushes. So when I was in college, I got really inspired to learn how to play all my favorite licks that my favorite drummers were doing, and so I got really, really into playing chops and licks and stuff. And after I graduated, I realized like that stuff was important, but also not very important at the same time. The most important thing was playing for the tune. And so I need to be able to play as musically as possible and make the best decisions that I can for the moment and not be worried about what I'm playing necessarily. So I try and make my students understand that, you know, chops and licks are great, but you have to understand that those are used in a certain context, and there's a place and purpose for all those things. As far as teaching goes, I work on 4 general kind of points with my students. The first point being technique, fundamentals, meaning getting your hands together, being able to play everything that you want to play relaxed. The other thing that we work on is just overall independence, so being able to play different groove settings and be able to play really anything that your mind thinks of. The other thing we work on is musicality, so picking songs that you're really inspired on learning and breaking them down, trying to figure out what the core of the tune is. Not necessarily learning things note for note, even though that's really important, but just learning the overall vibe of whatever song you're trying to learn. And then the last thing is creativity. So being able to sit down on the drums and make a musical statement. It doesn't matter if you're beginner, intermediate, or advanced. You can do, you know, creative things on the drum set with the skills that you do have.